Good morning. We are off to our first trial of the season. It is June. So this will be down at a place called Oatlands. The Goldie Club of Tasmania is running this, and it should be a really good day. It's 26 entries, which is a lot. So over 2 stakes. I've got Shirley entering Novice, and Winston is entering Open. So Winston needs 2 more passes to get his title, and Shirley hopefully only needs the 1, and he's had 2 attempts at that today. So hopefully he decides not to do his clumber thing and have a bit of a look around and try and find something that's better whilst he's out on the retrieve. We'll see how we go. All right. Okay, so we obviously start off with our walking to heel for Open. They can do this in any order. It has to have at least 3 turns in Open, where Novice it's pretty much just a straight walking to heel, pretty straight line. So so there's a few turns here, and then then we set up for our sit, stay, recall, and stop whistle, which is exercise 2. So exercise finished there. The judge is walking over. He's just pre-positioning himself behind us. He's going to indicate when I need to stop Winston. So he's there. He'll indicate with his white folder to indicate to stop, and then obviously give him another recall after the stop whistle. So after doing all week perfectly, of course, Winston decided, no, I'm not going to do it well. So it wasn't a great stop whistle with a very slow handbrake. So I didn't think we would pass this exercise because of that. So then we move up to a walk-up retrieve. So this is in water. There's a little dam there. You just walk, bird pops up from nowhere, steady your dog, and then send your dog out to the retrieve. Winston did really well with this one. And as you can see, this particular test is on canvas dummies. It can be on cold game if the club wishes, but they're on canvas dummies at this time. And then walking heel back to the starting pegs, hand over the dummy to the judge, and put your dog back on lead. So this was a double mark retrieve, a nice short one out to the right, out in the open, and then another one about, halfway up the top of that hill on the bank there, just past the gorse. Winston overruns it. He didn't have his head down, and because we've been doing some fairly longer retrieves, he didn't think it was going to be that short, so he ran over it and ends up running all the way over the back. Finds it, but so we would have lost a fair few points for that. So here it is. Get the second one. Now there's a lot of rocks, so they do look like dummies on the ground, but there, bang, he's just overrun it. Goes over the back. And he works his way back down to it. And picks it up. So receive that first dummy and then send him for the second. This one was a little bit easier because there's no rocks down there. It was all just grass, and it was just standing out, so in the colour of a dummy, I got a contrast against the grass, so it was quite easy. Now the trick with this one was to make sure the dog doesn't go for the one that's closer. So there's a certain way of setting the dog up at the pegs there to prevent that. It's almost like you form an X, and the dog won't cross those lines. It'll go for the one that it should be going for. So it was an overall pass of 91 out of 100, and he also got 2nd place overall. So we moved on to Sherlock in the Novice stake. This is the AM stake. like I said, walking the heels first up, just a nice straight line. Dog walks the heel, doesn't run off. Shirley did see the dam there and did want to go down to have a swim, but he did all right. I actually didn't think our walking to heel was that flash, but after looking at the video footage, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So this is his sit-stay recall. Shirley can get a little bit bored with this. I had to give him a couple of whistles to get him moving. Sherlock doesn't like weird people standing in weird areas, so the judge was a little bit off-putting for him, but he got with the program. And then there's just two short retrieves, one at 50 metres. This one's going to be in water, which is good because to get a title, at least one of your retrieves, one of your stakes have to be through or in water. Sherlock's already got one of these, so he's got two now. But yeah, so this is not a walk-up. This is just a pure retrieve. So sit the dog, or stand the dog if you want, nice and steady. The dummy goes up, and then send your dog. Now, with this one was a little bit tricky. The judge was almost going to give me a no bird for this because the dummy actually went a fair way onto the other side on the bank, where it's actually meant to go in the water. But Sherlock was awesome. He didn't run the bank like some of the other dogs did. He swam, got through the reeds, picked it up. He did run the bank on the way back, but that's not a biggie. So he will always prefer to. He's not a big water lover, but he did this really well. Brought it back. I'm glad it's not timed because he's not as fast as some of the labs and GSPs and spaniels that we're trialling, but he does a very efficient job, and he enjoys it, and that's the main thing. And the last exercise is a 70-metre retrieve. It can be in land or water. This happened just to be on land, but it's actually the first or the second retrieve from the open in the morning. So there's plenty of sand on the ground. The dog can see it. Pretty straightforward retrieve. And he's head out. Now there was, and I didn't realise this until I was talking to a couple of other competitors, there was a dead wallaby directly behind that was getting the attention of the dogs. Hence why Sherlock here stops and he's having a look. He goes, "You sure you want me to pick this up?" And he picks it up and comes back. So that's why it's important to train with distractions when the dog's ready. Start introducing some distractions, because when you send the dog, you want to send the dog for whatever you send it for, not what it is going to select when it's out of the retrieve. Very interesting way of delivery for Sherlock, but he can surprise me sometimes. Now, once again, he's looking to see where that car is, because he says, "I've done my job, I'm out of here."
And that's it. That was the AM session, of the trial. We did do a PM session as well, and both Winston and Sherlock passed those trials as well. It was a really, really successful day. A lot of passes, which is not the regular for those sort of trial. But yes, I think out of the 7 dogs in open, 5 all passed. And I can't remember how many were in novice, but I think 10 passed from what I can remember from the presentations. We're back home now. It was a long day. I think I got home about 7 o'clock and we left about 5:30. So it was a little big long day, very similar to sometimes when we go out working the dogs. But a good day. Been wanting to do those sort of trials for a few years now, but clubs haven't been running those sort of trials here, the retrieving clubs. So I'm really thankful to the Goldie Club for running these and allowing people in the state to be able to do this, because previously we would have to travel to the mainland and have to do the trials on the mainland. So good work with the Goldie Club. Keep it up. You're doing a really, really good job. So it's a really good trial to get started into retrieving, which then is a different sort of trial. And then you're shooting over your dog and you're picking up different types of game. But this is a real good entry level. Still being able to use the phenotypes of your dog and the working traits of your gun dog. And the good thing about RATGs is gun dogs on the associate register can actually run their dogs in a retrieving trial. Or a RATG trial, not a retrieving trial. They're a little bit different. So you have to have a purebred gun dog to be able to run those retrieving trials. But on a RATG, you don't have to have purebred. You just have to apply to the governing body to raft, saying that, and set a photo into your dog, and they say, "Yep, that looks like a Springer," and you can run your dog. So that's another bonus of that type of trial as well. Okay, if you like what you see, hit a like button, add a comment if you've got any questions. But yeah, and keep training.